for all YG artists to be there. When the members come up with excuses not to, Seungri ends the meeting on a sour
Oh my
note.
god, good thing that, you know, they didn't go to his parties, you know what I'm saying?
Sent
Alright,
shockwaves
let's
through
check this
South
out. We got the
Korea,
worst
and the
K-pop
fact that
idol
male
ever,
idols were some of the biggest
Seungri.
perpetrators only heightened the gravity of the situation. Former Big Bang member Seungri was specifically heavily linked to the scandal, especially because of his association with the Burning Sun Club and participation in controversial group chats where illegal explicit content was shared. Ultimately, Seungri
Yeah, so I don't really... I've heard of like the Burning Sun scandal thing, but I'm not like 100% sure of what it was.
convicted of charges related to trafficking, illegal gambling, and more, but he received a
Maybe I should
relatively
watch a
short
video on that.
sentence of 1.5 years in prison. Since the case received extensive media coverage, it brought a lot of attention to the crimes committed by Seungri and his associates. However, the recent BBC documentary on the scandal provided additional information about their crimes and offered a more detailed account of the wrongdoings. According to BBC's report, Seungri aspired to join Korea's elite circles through business ventures as he used his fame to establish connections with influential figures globally. In addition to his fame, he also used unethical methods, including...
So I believe there was like 3 or more people in this scandal, right?
exploitation of women to further his business ambitions. The scandal's epicenter, as you might know, was his nightclub in Gangnam called Burning Sun. BBC mentioned a particular birthday party that Seungri organized in 2017 in which he invited wealthy people from other countries. He even promised to cover all expenses if the guests were to bring attractive female companions with them. According to the documentary, this event is believed to have been a precursor to the foundation of the Burning Sun, with Seungri serving as executive director. The club's operations then led to more severe crimes against female.
I believe what it was like a club where there would be like VIPs, and then they would like basically bring in girls, right? And then
victims due to its scale, as Burning Sun used to attract large numbers of female guests, particularly Seungri's fans, through special performances. Since the club would offer very pricey services and the guests would pay them without much hesitation, they expected exclusive services in return. So this is when the Burning Sun established a covert system in a secluded area to cater to the preferences of VIP clients, often involving female guests. This secret operation was reportedly done through the Kakao Talk chat app, and it would work like this. Staff members were tasked with taking advantage of moments when female guests were intoxicated and would secretly take pictures of them. These photos were then shared with male VIP clients who could make their preferences known through the same app. In the documentary, a former Burning Sun employee confirmed the use of an illegal substance in private guest rooms where it's believed that VIP clients harmed the female victims. Seungri was implicated to be the ringleader in this affair, with other celebrities such as Choi Dong-hoon and Dong Jun-young allegedly following his lead. Most of these things were already uncovered by the investigation, but to read the messages that were sent and seeing the way that they would find humor in the way that they ruined the victims' lives was truly heartbreaking. However, even without the Burning Sun scandal surfacing, most people knew that there was something off about Seungri. In fact, his very first big scandal showed people
isn't
that
that
he
already
was not a good person
a
and
big
shouldn't
red
be
flag?
trusted. On September 13th, 2012,
Trafficking people.
Seungri faced his first major scandal when a prominent Japanese gossip magazine, Friday, released exclusive photos and an interview with a woman who claimed to have a one-night stand with him. Additionally, the woman mentioned Seungri's aggressive behavior, which involved hurting her. It was clear that Seungri had serious issues with objectification of women already at that point. Mind you, there were already a lot of rumors back then about how he would do inappropriate things with fans. But just like now, there was no regret over his actions.
the thing with
or the
fans
things
is
that he
just
was
so
being
messed
accused of.
up.
Even when he talked about the scandal later on,
Like, anything
he never
is, but,
mentioned
like,
the fact that he was accused of being aggressive towards someone, but spoke about how people started seeing him as an adult after it. He said, "This was my first scandal, and it was so big. I was really scared and surprised. But in the end, I think a lot of people started looking at me more like an adult because of that scandal." Even though both G-Dragon and KPOP asked people to go eat.
That was my first scandal. On my way for a second. Like, jeez, bro, chill out, man.
Back then, based on some interviews, it doesn't seem like the Big Bang members were very fond of him in general. They made a lot of jokes at his expense and even talked about Big Bang being only 4, hinting that they had a future without Seungri in it. There were also a lot of instances in which the members would publicly discuss how worried they were about Seungri and the people that he was hanging around with. TOP once voiced his concerns for Seungri's well-being.
It's kind of sad how it like destroys the reputation of the rest of the group just because one of the guys is a twat.
About the shady people Seungri invited to their concerts. He suspected that these people weren't Seungri's genuine friends, but were only interested in him for personal gain. He also discussed how much Seungri changed over time. Initially, he seemed passionate about music, but gradually he became increasingly materialistic, prioritizing money and partying above all else. It was obvious that they were trying their hardest to knock some sense into him, to the point that they were even giving him advice on variety shows and live streams. But eventually, it seemed like they just gave up and tried to distance themselves from him as much as possible. But even back then, he was known as the guy who loved throwing parties and as the one who was obsessed with adult movies.
The best way of doing it, I guess.
According to a story that Icon's BI shared, the Icon members had found a hard drive in Seungri's old dorm which had hundreds of inappropriate videos. Then there was the Netflix show he took part in, which seemed to have a lot of realistic parts to it. For all of you who don't know, in 2018, Seungri took on a role in the Netflix comedy documentary Why.
So when did it all come out? I'm guessing it was quite recent, right? Because 2018 he was still doing shows, so I must have been
Future Strategy Office. The show introduced the Future Strategy Office, a new department within the company designed for handling troublemaking artists and misfits, with Seungri appointed as its head. The documentary featured other idols, including members of Blackpink and Sunmi. Due to the show's running joke about Seungri being creepy and unlikable, the members expressed how uncomfortable they were with him. In one particular scene, he's trying to convince the members to attend an event, saying that it is mandatory for all YG artists to be there. When the members come up with excuses not to, Seungri ends the meeting on a sour
my god, good thing that, you know, they didn't go to his parties, you know what I'm saying? Jeez.
Then, the four members have individual interviews in which they discuss how uncomfortable they are around him. In another clip, Sunmi even mentioned that female seniors from the industry advised her to keep her distance from Seungri. Of course, these are all scripted, but watching the show with the things we know about Seungri now is enough to give us the creeps. Speaking of his disturbing behavior towards female idols, let's talk about an interaction that recently surfaced between him and actress Kim Sejong. To give you context, in 2018, Seungri made a guest appearance on the variety show Salty Tours. In one episode of the show, Seungri, Jong Junyoung, Sejong, and other guests gathered for dinner and conversation. Suddenly, Seungri turns to Sejong and tells her to forget about the guest's fame, wealth, and status, and to just pour beer for the most attractive male cast member. Sejong can be seen feeling visibly uncomfortable as she utters, "What is this?"
What a weirdo, bro.
Since the cameras were still rolling. This moment enraged netizens, as in Korean culture, it traditionally suggests a hierarchy where men would typically
So it would happen in 2019, right? The scandal.
Have women pour drinks for them in night establishments, implying superiority over the person pouring the drink.
Yeah,
Considering this behavior, in addition to all the disgusting, straight up inhumane things that Seungri has done or been involved in, one would think that he would get a deserved punishment.
I mean, it's not even little thing, it's just like so weird
for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, nothing like that happened. Seungri was sentenced to 3 years in prison on 9 charges and ordered his immediate detention. Additionally, he was fined 1.15 billion Korean won. If you believe that a 3-year sentence was too lenient for his actions, you will be even more disappointed to learn that his sentence was cut in half. After appealing the initial verdict, Seungri had his sentence reduced to 18 months by the High Military Court in January 2022.
That's what happens when you have money.
He reportedly admitted guilt to all charges and formally expressed a commitment to reflect on his actions. When we spoke to Ji-won-lee, a South Korean lawyer, on our channel, he explained that the reason why Seungri was given such a low sentence was because of his strategy. As soon as the Burning Sun scandal erupted, Seungri decided to enlist in the military. Due to that, his case was judged by the military court, and according to lawyer Ji-won-lee, the military court has minimal experience in handling such complex and difficult cases, and therefore, it was easy for Seungri to get a low sentence. Seungri was released in February of 2023,
he's out!
Despite his statements about reflecting on his actions, his behavior didn't show this commitment. In fact, only a month after his release, Seungri's alleged acquaintances said that he had been living his day-to-day life with a bright attitude. Someone who was reportedly very close to Seungri during his time with Big Bang revealed that after his release from prison, Seungri contacted him and other friends, inviting them to go clubbing. Not only that, but he was even involved in a scandal after he was caught 2-timing women. Then, in January of 2024, he held a fan meeting in Cambodia, and while it's not surprising to see him partying, this one was controversial as he mentioned G-Dragon during his speech. Seungri was captured on video saying, "One day I'll bring G-Dragon here," taking photos while holding Big Bang's light sticks and playing the group's songs at the event. A clip from the event was also making rounds in which Seungri can be gesturing angrily towards the crowd and shouting, "F you all." Some fans have argued that Seungri was trying to defend his country's reputation, as in another clip he declares, "Cambodia, the best country in Asia." While this was shocking in itself, netizens were angered by the fact that Seungri mentioned G-Dragon, especially since the Big Bang members have made it clear that they don't want anything to do with him anymore. One guessed that he was doing all of this because he probably wanted to start another business and was trying to butter the public up by mentioning his ties to Big Bang. Little did his netizens know
So he
that
just
they were
decided to
actually
leave
correct
Korea
about
and
his
is like,
plans.
yeah, I'm going
After
to
the BBC
Cambodia.
documentary, many people were curious about what exactly was Seungri planning on doing, especially since South Korea had shunned him and was treating him as the criminal he was. According to a report from the Chinese media outlet Seo Hee, Seungri was considering a move to Hong Kong for an extended period. Allegedly, he had already bought a luxurious home in the mid-level area and was actively searching for a suitable location to open a club in East Chim Sa Joy. A netizen also posted about Seungri's recent whereabouts, writing, "I heard from a friend who works at a nightclub that he's permanently living in Hong Kong now and will do business here around the Chim Sa Joy, East Chim Sa Joy area." Reports from multiple
That's
outlets
crazy.
suggest that Seungri might be considering opening a nightclub, especially after the netizen shared texts from a friend claiming that he has seen him socializing and discussing business matters with alcohol distributors and club owners. More specifically,
crazy.
Seungri is reportedly gearing up to open a club in Cambodia, according to a close source. Allegedly, he has already secured investment and is now prepared to make a grand opening. However, his presence in both Hong Kong and Cambodia doesn't seem to be welcomed. Jackie Hoong, son of actor and producer Charles Hoong, strongly objected to Seungri's business plans in Hong Kong. He urged Seungri not to come to Hong Kong, stating that nobody would welcome him here and warned against bringing any negative influences to the country's showbiz scene. One thing was clear, he wants Seungri to stay away. A netizen also said it
Okay.
best when they commented, "It's so sad that we live in a world where a heinous criminal like him is still able to not only
That's
open
what
a new
I'm
business
saying.
overseas, but receive investments for it too." It's alarming that
Insane,
Seungri could
bro.
potentially open new nightclubs despite not facing any significant consequences for his actions, and he seems to be desperate to stay relevant.
Alright, we also got the story of a
Promising
K-pop
idols out
trainee
there.
who ruined
Instead, her
K-pop
choices led to her
forever.
being one of the reasons for YG Entertainment's catastrophic downfall. There
Okay.
isn't much known about her early life or her family, but there have been rumors about her being a golden spoon. It's said that her dad runs a local company in Incheon earning around 30 to 40 billion won annually, and that he's also
Nice.
the proud owner of a building in Songdo, which led people to believe that she's wealthy. She said so herself in 2017 when she posted a picture of herself with the TVXQ members taken back in 2005. The caption on the picture was, "Found a relic while going through my albums, the yellow padding is me, I was a golden spoon." Her family being well off and going out of their way to keep her happy could shed light on why things played out the way they did in the future and why she is often referred to as the biggest nightmare of K-pop idols. If she came from a chaebol family, it would explain why she allegedly lives at the Trimage apartment in Seoul, which is an apartment complex for the filthy rich. She also allegedly
Damn.
drives an expensive car, is often seen in designer clothes, and carrying pricey bags. Some rumors said that no, Seo Hee wasn't your typical rich girl heiress, but that her father runs a small IT company and her mother is a high school principal. If this is true, then she might have led a comfortable life, but she wouldn't exactly be classified as rich. Seo Hee herself said that she affords her lifestyle all by herself, which could be true if we consider everything we know about her side businesses, but since there's really not much confirmed about her family life, let's look at what we actually know and why she's so disturbing. Even if her family was as rich as everyone was claiming, Seo Hee was talented enough to get into some of the top entertainment companies. She auditioned for JYP Entertainment in 2011 when she was only 16. Out of everyone who had auditioned at the time, it seemed that Seo Hee was the most impressive, as she won first place in the auditions without breaking much of a sweat, but for some unknown reason, she never ended up signing an official contract with the company. Whatever happened between her and JYP, Seo Hee wouldn't give up on debuting just yet. Only a year after her audition, she appeared on MBC's audition program Birth of a Great Star 3. She failed to make it to the top 12 in the competition, but her skills were so impressive that after the show ended, she got tons of offers from
Wait, so
different
she
entertainment
actually
agencies.
like can sing and dance and stuff, right? She wasn't just she didn't just pay and like they let her in.
One of them allegedly being Pledis Entertainment. According to Seo Hee, she was a trainee at the company very shortly. She has even discussed her alleged time there, saying that it had been one of the most challenging parts of her life. She said that she and the other trainees couldn't even drink water without permission during practice. Seo Hee mentioned practicing for 12 hours every day, even on Sundays, with managers keeping an eye on them via CCTV. They apparently couldn't even nap
that's
or
hard.
use their phones without the company finding out. However, after an investigation investigation was conducted, it was tough to find any proof that she had indeed signed a trainee contract with the agency. We have to admit that she has a creative imagination, though. Seo Hee also mentioned getting recruited by FNC Entertainment, but it turned out she didn't sign a contract for some reasons that came up before the signing was officially completed. There were also rumors that she signed with Source Music, as she was allegedly supposed to debut with G-Friend. She even allegedly trained with the members, but she and the company ended up parting ways before the group could debut. Someone had also claimed that she trained under YG Entertainment for a few months, but the company denied the rumors. At this point, Seo Hee herself wasn't sure whether she would be debuting or not. Amongst all these rumors, the only confirmed and truly verified fact is that she was a Jellyfish Entertainment trainee. She trained with the members of Gugudan and was supposed to debut alongside them, but as you have heard many times by now, she and the company ended up parting ways. Later on, Jellyfish revealed that she was actually kicked out after only a month for not following the rules. The label mentioned she trained with them from June to July 2015. She allegedly often skipped practice without permission, and she also supposedly hadn't informed the company of her decision to undergo plastic surgery. In response to these accusations, Seo Hee explained that she didn't attend without permission and denied having plastic surgery without asking for permission beforehand. Whether it was her fault or not, experiencing rejection so many times made Seo Hee lose hope that she would ever be debuting. It had been 6 years since she had first auditioned for JYP, and
so I don't understand it. She was a trainee and she had a lot of contract offers, but she never signed them. So
watching the trainees she practiced with debut in their respective groups,
I mean,
while
obviously
she was jumping
the
from
contracts
company
maybe
to
were
company
bad,
with
or
no end in sight. She had stated in the past that she needed to be interested in something to start so she could study or practice for it. And well, she did find an interest, but it ended up causing a lot of trouble for many people. There had been suspicions that Seo Hee had been using substances even when she was just a trainee. It was said that she had been allegedly caught with these substances by managers, which may be why she couldn't stay more than a few months in the same company. So after her dream as an idol came to an end, she allegedly started to provide these substances for others, and business was booming. Because she knew so many trainees and idols from all the different companies she had been under, it wasn't hard to find a clientele to rely on. She also said that she started working at a 10 Pro around the same time, which would have her deal with some of the richest people in Korea, which would have made it even easier for her to expand her business. If you're not familiar with the term 10 Pro, they're high-end adult venues in Korea known for serving the wealthiest individuals. They got the name 10 Pro, meaning 10% in Korea, because it's believed that only the top 10% of the most beautiful women can work there, with Seo Hee being one of them. She said that even though it was controversial to work there, she just couldn't resist the insane amount of money she was making there. It was there that she met YG Entertainment's founder Yang Hyun-suk, and the two became quite close, and were even suspected of having an intimate relationship, judging by the number of times Yang Hyun-suk went to visit her at the establishment. In shared text conversations, Seo Hee is seen calling him Appa, and Hyun-suk allegedly offered her free tickets to concerts of his artists, which must be why she knew so many YG artists. The event started unfolding in March 2016 when 21's former stylist Yang Sung-ho got arrested in Tokyo for smoking illegal substances. This incident triggered investigations, which led to the involvement of T.O.P., Han So-hee, B.I., and many others. The police were already investigating other YG artists for committing the same crime, but had no cause to test anyone just yet. Just a month later, B.I. contacted Seo Hee about buying substances from her, and according to what she said to the police,
she was literally just like
the substance to Icon's dorms. Afterwards, Sung-hoon from Winner had reached out to Seo Hee, informing her that B.I. failed the company substance test and proposed a meeting between the two. Allegedly, a representative from YG went to meet with her instead, instructing her not to say anything about B.I. Still, Seo Hee probably
using substances in Korea like super illegal, right? And it's like super frowned upon in like
tried to get herself a good deal with the police and told them everything, including the fact that she had delivered substances to B.I. after the YG employee found out about it. Seo Hee was sent to the company building and privately met with Yang Hyun-suk. According to her, Yang Hyun-suk said that he wasn't a fan of the fact that his artists were getting investigated and threatened to ruin any potential career she had in the idol industry. She went on to say that he urged her to change her statement by emphasizing his influence to access police reports. Seo Hee then said that she felt compelled to comply due to fear and a lack of options, the fact that he was exposed for forcing Seo Hee to change her testimony as well as a string of other scandals led to Yang Hyun-suk stepping down from the CEO position at YG in 2019. But back in 2016, while Yang Hyun-suk and BI were left to deal with the police, Seo Hee walked away with a slap on the wrist. This is why when the scandal broke out in 2019, people started assuming that her family was very rich. She was involved in one of the wildest scandals of one of the biggest companies in the entertainment business, but she walked away unscathed? Very weird. Just a few months later, after she had met with BI, Seo Hee had allegedly run into Big Bang's T.O.P. at a cafe and he took a liking to her right away. The two ended up dating and there had been multiple instances in which the two had smoked substances together. Once Yang Hyun-suk was made aware of this, he reportedly sent Seo Hee away to America for 3 months. While this might seem confusing, he had thought this one through. She was purposely sent to Los Angeles a few days before Big Bang's Made album came out and stayed there until the group finished their tour and T.O.P. enlisted. Since Yang Hyun-suk was already aware of what T.O.P. was doing with Seo Hee, he hoped that sending her away would make the problem go away. As you might be already aware, things didn't work their way. In March of 2017, Seo Hee was arrested for illegal substance-related charges. While investigating in the same month, the police managed to connect T.O.P. to Seo Hee and he was sentenced to 2 years of probation. Seo Hee was also sentenced to 4 years of probation and 120 hours of treatment sessions, but she didn't let that get in the way of anything, as shortly after her sentence, she began to make plans to debut in a 4-member group. However, that's not important to us right now, as we're going to briefly discuss the messy situation she got
her
other
story's
idols
just
involved
crazy,
in.
man.
In October 2019, Seo Hee and her girlfriend Jung Da-eun targeted Monsta X's Wonho and Shonu. Da-eun, who knew Wonho from before, claimed he had a history of aggravated theft and substance use, accusing him of not repaying the 30 million won he allegedly owed her. While Wonho was cleared of the substance allegations, he admitted to past probation which were unrelated to illegal substances. Wonho eventually left Monsta X so he wouldn't be a burden to his members. Then, Seo Hee and Di-eun went on to share a message Di-eun claimed to have received, in which the sender accused Shonu of having an affair with his wife. Starship Entertainment responded to the claims, stating that while Shonu had contact with the woman before she was married, he wasn't aware of her marital status. She was also involved in the late Lee Seung-gyun's case. Remember the 10 Pro she worked in? Well, it was reported that Lee Seung-gyun used to frequent the establishment a lot, and it was suspected that the two, along with other individuals, had used illegal substances there. Paired with her previous 3 charges, things weren't looking good for her. However, all these years, Seo Hee has never gotten into any real trouble for anything. She has ruined careers and is partially responsible for the tragic state of YG Entertainment now, but she's currently going on with life as if nothing had happened. In fact, she's getting into more trouble even now in 2024. On January 29th, there were some alleged leaked messages between the famous actor Ahn Hyo-sop and Seo Hee. In the supposed message exchange, she allegedly invites him to a luxury hotel in Gangnam for dinner via room service and hinting at possible mature things to take place. He is seen hesitating for a while, and she allegedly resorts to threatening him. A netizen
wait, what, they translated it? So that's her messaging him. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally fine. Damn, it's not my money anyway. Want to die? Yo, why are you talking so scary?
Resorts to threatening him. A netizen then claims Seo Hee posted photos at the hotel on the same day as the alleged messages, which made everyone doubt whether the messages were even real in the first place. However, some fans believe that not only are the messages real, but that Ahn Hyo-sop should be scrutinized for even hanging around Seo Hee in the first place. Most posts about the alleged exchange are getting deleted.
It didn't seem like he really engaged in that conversation. He was just kind of like, you know, like, just replying. I mean, he did reply straight away. Like, it's an ongoing conversation. I don't know, man.
Day as the alleged messages, which made everyone doubt whether the messages were even real in the first place. However, some fans believe that not only are the messages real, but that Ahn Hyo-sop should be scrutinized for even hanging around Seo Hee in the first place. Most posts about the alleged exchange are getting deleted, which made people think that someone was taking measures to bury this scandal. Others believe that the conversation is real, but that Seo Hee was offended that Hyo-sop had rejected her, so she leaked the conversation to ruin his career. She denied these accusations and even said that the conversation
bro.
was fabricated. Knowing the many things we have been hearing about her over the past few years, we doubt that this is the last time we will hear about this mess, so stay tuned for more updates.
Crazy.